Ike, you abruptly return to your senses. As you lift yourself to your feet, you are utterly puzzled as to what just happened. The best guess that you can conjecture is that that's what the other races call a dream.
Ooh.
As you attempt to gather your bearings, to continue your journey to the Eldine Reaches, you find that you have no idea where you are. You find yourself in some backwater village, at the door to what appears to be a mage tower.
Khaleesi! I mean, what?
Kalima! I mean...
Or Moss, I should call you Moss.
Alright, yeah.
None of us have the privilege to know your name yet. Spencer. As you awaken from your dream with a start. After a few seconds, you shrug off your dream as just that. Leaving your inn room, you step into the streets of Callanport, where you've been working as a mercenary for the last several months. After walking for several blocks, you descend into the seedy bar where you typically meet your contact with your most recent employer. As you enter, you have a split second to realize that the room is unusually empty before a burlap sack is dropped over your head. You attempt to struggle, but the bag is soaked in something that makes you dizzy as soon as you take a breath.
Stranger danger!
As you drop to the floor, the last thing you hear before you lose consciousness is an unfamiliar voice remarking, "I don't know who you pissed off, but there's good money for whomever ensures that the next time anyone sees you, you're a desiccated corpse in the desert." When you finally come to, you feel a residual heat on your skin. Despite being a fire genasi, you still feel that residual heat on your skin as if you'd been lying in the sun for a while. Pulling the bag off your head, you find yourself on a bluff overlooking an unfamiliar verdant village.
They assured me chloroform was a drug. They just didn't tell me it wouldn't have any fun side effects.
You probably have enough time for at least one more movie.
And then Roland. You're wrenched from your sleep as you're violently dragged out of your bed. As you come to your senses, you find yourself being hauled out of your hiding place by a pair of half-giant lackeys, accompanied by their Templar boss. As they drag you away, you realize to yourself that despite Tithian's recent insistence on having show trials for criminals and revolutionaries, the only reason you're not being dragged directly to your death is because if the city's leaders want to have a public execution, they need to schedule one. They drag you into the basement level of a government building where a lone cell has been set up. You know that the reason there's only one is because it's never occupied for long. As you're tossed into the cell and your captors leave, you stand defiantly at the bars with a smirk on your face. Like any prison they could erect could hope to hold you. The moment you finish the thought, the room is filled with a bright flash of light, and you experience a sensation altogether new to you. Simultaneously cold and wet, you can't feel anything under your feet, but at the same time it doesn't feel like you're falling. You feel an intense urge to breathe, however some base instinct is forcing you to hold your breath. After a few seconds of flailing around, your arms and legs manage to find something solid, and you drag yourself from a small pond, unable to describe your surroundings as anything but an alien world.
Well, I've never actually been in water before, so yeah, completely new feeling. Probably nice and alert.
Yes, very alert. Jim, you find your belongings scattered on the shore. It looks like there was the wicker chest sort of thing that they put them in when they tossed you in prison, came along with you and was overturned as it appeared.
May as well gather my stuff back before I look back and realize, free water! I could use a drink.
Ike, you're standing at the foot of a mage tower, and Spencer, you've got homes behind you. You've got a sharp little downturn below you that you could probably slide down if you wanted to, and you could see more homes ahead.
Don't slide down.
You see, off in the distance, you see city walls and a large tower.
Do I see any people?
You see some in the distance. The mage tower looks like it's set up on a bluff on its own with a bridge crossing to another bluff in the distance. So you can see people, but it's more of a looking down across the village, too far for you to shout.
Oh, okay. I want to know. I'm swinging in front of the door.
Yes.
Here, knock on the door.
All right, you knock on the door loudly. After a few moments, the door cracks open, and a halfling pokes his head out. The halfling gives you a bit of a grimace. And what's your business here?
I don't know. Where is here, my good man?
You're standing at the Septarch's Tower. How do you not know where you are?
I just got here.
Did one of those guards send you this way as a joke? Okay, that's fine. Spencer, what do you want to do? It looks like if you followed a road behind the road running off behind you for a little ways, you'd reach a city gate.
I guess that would work.
Okay. So you gather, based on your guess on where the sun is in the sky, you think you're heading north.
Okay.
And after a few minutes, you reach not really a main town square, but it does look like it's a more open area where they set up some businesses and where carts coming in from the road pull into town. There's a guard post in the gates.
I'm going to get some water, which is exactly what my character is going to be doing when my turn comes up.
Okay.
I'll head to
So my character will
Guard
probably
station.
dunk his head underwater to get a drink.
Okay. You head towards the gate. The portcullis is currently standing up. You see one or two wagons off in the road coming up, and you knock on the door to what appears to be the barracks. There's a half moment until they answer, and a human guard stands there and asks you what your business is.
Where am I? That's my question there.
You are
What
at
is
the
this place?
you are at the town of Fallcrest. I assume that you just got here.
Yeah. How's that? Yeah.
Well, what can I do for you? It's fairly quiet around here at the moment. I have a few moments. He doesn't seem too off-put by your appearance for whatever reason.
Big rust-colored bald guy with glowing scars, that's all.
As you do see people walking around town, you also see bipedal dragons, halflings.
What's the nearest largest city?
Actually, you would recognize the Dragonborn because they're in Faerun, they're native to Arcosia. So yes, you.
Yeah. This is Faerun, right?
This is where? Or did you say that out loud?
Well, I said it was the nearest largest city.
The nearest largest city. Well, we're probably the largest city around for at least 40 miles. The next two nearest cities are the dwarven city of Hammerfast and Winterhaven in the west.
What country am I in?
What country?
That's the hardest question to ask.
Yes.
Like, wait, are there countries? What? Not states? What?
No,
That's why I kind of hate Faerun.
Why?
'Cause it's like, how do you classify areas?
Mm-hmm.
well, I'm not sure what you mean by what country.
Okay.
I hate Faerun.
I'm not sure what you mean by what country you're in, but
What's the nearest coast?
the nearest coast is about 100 miles to the south of here. I've never been myself. Very few people in this town have bothered going that far. Maybe you might ask the merchants.
Does it have a name?
The river runs down that way. I don't think I know the name offhand. I've never left this village actually in my life.
Okay. Walk away. Low down kick.
It's the world of small towns. Ike, the halfling has asked you what your business is.
Well, I was heading to the Reaches, the Elden Reaches, and I end up here. Am I close?
I can't say I've ever heard of the place. Can you,
How, how, how do you not know the reaches?
well, there aren't a whole lot of maps around here. The last large kingdom fell a century ago. Very few people besides adventurers leave their hometowns anymore.
Oh yeah, Galifar did collapse about 100 years ago. So I'm told.
What's this Galifar? I'm talking about Narath.
Where's Narath?
Well, it used to encompass this entire continent.
Do you have a map?
We don't have one at the moment. However, if you are interested in speaking to the Wizard of the Tower, I'm just his apprentice. I can lead you in up to where Nizamorin's studying. Granted, it's about 50-50 whether or not he's going to be annoyed that you're interrupting his studies or pleased to see somebody.
Yeah, if it won't bother him.
Okay, I mean...
50-50 sounds like fair odds.
Okay. Jim,
So,
you've drank your fill.
yep,
You have never seen flowing water before.
precisely.
I'm rich, bitch.
Probably first half thought.
So
I'm going to pull my head out of the water and actually take a look at my surroundings.
okay, there are a few trees around. There's a bluff up behind you, and then there's a tower built on a tall hill right in front of you.
Well, that's the only sign of civilization I can see. I guess I'll head towards it.
Well, you can tell you're in the middle of a village. That's just what you can see around you.
Ah, okay. Well, guess I'll walk into the village, see what's going on.
Okay, so you start following the roads. You start passing. Every so often, you pass a home that's still in good working order, but you do pass a whole lot of ruined houses.
Well, no surprise that places aren't kept up very well.
And
I do think I'll avoid any halfling I see.
yes, it does. You are absolutely amazed at just how green everything is. You don't see sand anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
As you make your way towards the nearest road, start walking towards it.
Well, it was the middle of the night. I had a drink. I may as well sit down for a meal. Let me see if I can find an inn or some sort of cart with meat on it.
I was actually about to say, after about 5 minutes of walking down the first road you find yourself in front of what appears to be an alehouse.
All right. Well, time to go in and enjoy.
Spencer, you've given up on the guard. You're standing in what's this place spot? You're standing in what looks like the equivalent of a customs area for a small podunk town. You do see an inn lining it, where presumably most of the incoming merchants stay.
Inn was where I originally intended to go.
Sorry, I thought you were going for the guards.
Well, I was, because I figured they might know something, but then the inn was in the next area.
Okay.
The guards might know something. Nope. What small town guard knows anything?
All right. As you
Gossip.
step in, it's a fairly lively inn, and it looks like it's a very nice inn for such a small town. Looks like they put a whole lot into putting it together. There's people eating lunch. Not a whole lot. There's you see the stairs going upstairs, and there's a not quite elderly but older halfling woman bartending.
I'll go up to her.
Okay. You walk up to the bar and sit down in front of the halfling woman. What can I get for you?
Information.
Okay, well, what can I tell you about?
The guard
I
told
assume
me
you're
about a
here.
coast nearby, or within not too far range. Do you know the name of it?
I'm not. It leads to a small sea that was small enough they never really bothered giving it much of a name, but there's a town nearby there called Southport that most people go through when they're taking their wares south.
What land are we in?
Excuse me. Well, you're currently in the Nenter Vale. Did you stow away on a merchant caravan and without knowing where it was going?
That might be the correct answer.
That might be.
I
Were you
didn't-
shanghaied?
Yes. I was grabbed, knocked out, woke up at the edge of town.
Yeah,
I don't know where I am.
The
Please
guards.
tell me you don't say that happens a lot.
The guards here in this town do their best to prevent it happening. It doesn't happen in this town, but we do sometimes receive the people that it does that it has happened to.
Is there a point to it?
Well, once you're several miles out of your original location, you're kind of stuck on whoever has kidnapped you for food, and
Except for there was nobody.
there was nobody.
I was left alone on the ridge.
In that case, I don't know how to help you. I mean, you're like I say, you're currently in the Nentier Vale. This is the town of Fallcrest.
Do you know how to get to Callanport?
Never heard of it.
Crap.
Surprised you'd want to go back, given what just happened to you.
Venge.
Okay, that's always a good point.
I don't know this world. Would it?
Are you
Would it be
looking for
easy-
work in town, or are you?
Not technically at the moment, but I'm sure that's what I'll end up doing. Is it cold to the north?
Yes, it is cold to the north. In fact, briefly out of character, it is about August. The temperature outside is comfortable, but when a good wind starts blowing, it's pretty chill in the town you're in.
So in my case, the chill is probably enjoyable for about a minute.
Yeah,
It's
you can,
cold if you're used to a desert. Yeah.
Mhm.
you can go north for probably a week before you hit ice. Also, the term week means nothing to your character.
I don't know. Normal Faerun week.
Well, Faerun goes by 10-day, doesn't it?
Yeah, but they say you use the term week, and that's.
Oh. Okay, I didn't know. I just always saw them use 10-day. Ike,
Back.
you get dragged up to the tower. The halfling kind of barks, "Hey, Nemo! Someone's here to see you." The elderly human wizard looks up from the book he's reading, starts growling, "What is it this time?" Before he catches sight of you and drops what he's doing, walks over. "Wow, where did you find this?"
And what?
What?
"It speaks."
What speaks?
"What?
What? What are you talking about?
What are you, creature?
Me?
What wizard made you?"
One of the house wizards of House Cat.
What city's that from?
They were from. I can't remember the town they were originally. But it was destroyed in the war. The Moorland now. I think they're in Breland now.
Mournland. What war? Where?
The Great War.
How far away were you?
The war.
The
Yeah.
war.
The
I was
war.
created because of the war.
Well, what you're speaking mostly makes sense. This is impressive for a construct.
Why, thank you. I quite like myself too.
It even has a sense of self.
Wow.
Of course it does. Self.
Wow.
Takes care of
Should've
itself.
said I.
Well, being sarcastic, of course it does. Takes care of itself, after all.
Would you mind telling me where I am?
Well, You are currently in the town of Fallcrest. In the middle of in the middle of the Nentir Vale.
Nenterville.
Did you walk here yourself, or did one of the caravans bring you?
Yes. I was walking. I think I had a dream. I have to think on that.
Blasphemy.
I've never heard of a construct dreaming.
And I woke up here, in front of this tower. I assumed you must have summoned me.
That is some strange magic, but no, I didn't do anything like that. Usually when I call for people, they come in through the teleportation circle, and he gestures to a circle that he's got carved into the floor.
Ooh, would you mind sending me to the Reaches?
Thing is I've never heard of that place, and for this to work, I need to know where I'm sending you.
Damn. Well, I guess the best way to get there is the way I've always traveled, on foot.
Would you mind if I studied you for a few moments?
Like what?
Well, I have never seen such a sophisticated construct before.
Why, thank you. Sure. I will take the time to think about my dream. Do you have a place to sit?
Well, yes, I do, and he offers you the seat he was sitting in.
I enjoy a good sit.
The halflings already walk down the stairs. The impression you get is they don't get along terribly well.